Risk management. Manage your risk. On the financial side, we all know how much are you willing to lose on each and every trade. But you also need a daily stop loss, which means, for example, you are not willing to lose more than $500 per trading day. Your weekly stop loss, you are not willing to lose more than $3,000 each and every week. Now, on the mental side is, if you had a bad day, work, family, or any other situation, you are not mentally prepared for this trading day. So know your mental side, know where you are, and manage your mental side risk. Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here with the daily market recap. So without any further ado, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. Let's see the charts. CPI numbers will come out tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern Time. In the meantime, SPY is holding the 382 area, which is also the 50% retracement from this trend. Uptrend retraced 50%, needs to hold. Otherwise, December lows and maybe even all the way to October lows all depend on CPI numbers. Tomorrow, 8:30. QQQ holding this trend line, but still sliding down. Short-term downtrend. CPI numbers will be above expected, which means not good, and this trend line will get broken to the downside. In my opinion, 274 will be here fast. IWM back retesting December lows with a doji, but we need to wait for validation, because if the 170 will break to the downside, October lows, June lows at the 163 will be here once again. Dow Jones, continuation to the downside. Now, 317 is holding. The 317 is the 618 retracement. If we take from this low, 313 is the next support. Bulls need to defend. It was a very important support, resistance, support. So 313 needs to hold. Otherwise, 307, and we have all the rest of the levels to the downside to manage our risk. Natural gas, we had this bounce, retraced, 618. Now, trying to bounce once again. We have all the levels to the upside to follow as potential resistance to the future, and if net gas will fail to bounce back to the downside, you guessed it, we have Fibonacci levels to the downside as future potential support. But for now, bounce, retraced, 618, nice bounce. Let's see continuation. Oil back to the support area. If you follow me on Twitter, you know this area. If you're not following me on Twitter, this is the time. Check the link in the description below. Follow me on Twitter. I post daily actionable ideas for day trade, for swing trade, for long or for short. Now, let's see once again if price can bounce towards this trend line. Otherwise, breaking this below, we can take Fibonacci swing high, swing low. Now you have 72, 70, and maybe towards 64. But one candle at a time, following price, using Fibonacci levels and trend lines to manage our risk. XLF, basically dropping down. We are waiting for some kind of a stop for this meltdown, maybe a trend reversal. 31 is the next support. Let's see, maybe the CPI numbers tomorrow will give some air for breathing on the XLF. KRE, two dojis, but to the downside, closed this gap over here, closed this gap over here. Now let's see where it's going next. All we can do is sit and wait. We can also take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, or to this, doesn't really matter. You see, it gives us potential support and resistance to the downside, to the upside. Let's see if we can get some kind of a bounce above 46.30. VIX. I'm waiting for the touch and downtrend reversal of this red trend line, because as you can see, only by looking left, each and every time it reached since April 2020, each and every time VIX reached this trend line, got rejected back to the downside. So I'm waiting for a touch, maybe some breakout, and then back to the downside. Then we can know, we can start thinking long positions on SPY cues and friends. Apple, double top scenario still in play. This gap over here is still open, the 146.50. CPI numbers will tell us a lot for the next quarter where price is heading. For now, what I see is a double top scenario. It will negate once price will break up and above the 158 for at least 2 or 3 days. Otherwise, I'm waiting for a break below the 143, and then it's short on Apple. And of course, everything you see and hear on this channel and on this video is for educational purposes only. Always do your own due diligence. Never follow blindly anyone on social media, paid or free services. In the end of the day, it's your money. It's only up to you. No one else cares about your money. Only you care about it. And if you care about your money, you need to do your own due diligence. If you want to take your trading journey to the next level and stop following others, becoming your own indicator, and take your financial freedom future in your own hands, check the links in the description below. One-on-one mentorship program or the Fibonacci-Traders program. 2 programs with lifetime access, support, guidance, and all Discord channels. The only program out there with lifetime access for everything. Tesla holding the 164. Look left. Why? It bounced over here, now trying to hold. Failing to do so, we are waiting for this gap to get filled, and it will get filled. 80% chance it will. It's all a matter of when. Sooner the better. So I'm waiting for this gap to get filled, and then I'm waiting for a bounce, because it also sits on the 50% retracement area. Uptrend, gap, sits on the 50% retracement area. So I'm waiting for a gap to get filled and the bounce. And then I will start thinking going long on Tesla. Google, trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. Look at this. Look left, bounce, 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 and today, the low of the day on the trend line and bounce. Now let's see continuation to the upside. We are waiting for tomorrow's CPI numbers, and if we look left, and we know to look left, and we know candlestick analysis, we have a potential double bottom. So a good CPI numbers will send Google at least to the 100s. Look left, very strong resistance. So I suspect it will become once again a very tough resistance for price action. Bad CPI numbers and this trend line will get broken to the downside. maybe back to 79. Always prepare for both sides. We never know where price will head next, but we can know by following it, using trend lines, Fibonacci levels, and of course, understanding in-depth candlestick analysis. And as we can see, AMD still in a very nice uptrend channel. Now, doji of the 80. Let's see if we can get a bounce towards 89.90. Shop holding the trend line. As you can see, if you go to the line chart, it's more easy on the eyes. And as you can see, this trend line is holding. Holding now. Low of the day. Retested this trend line. Bounce. Now, same as Google. If we can get continuation above the 44 area, 43.80, 44 area 80, then we have a double bottom scenario with this major gap to the upside. And we know gaps are like magnets to price action, and more than 80% of all gaps will get filled. Now I know I sound like a broken record, but this is it. Technical analysis, looking left, price action, rinse and repeat. That's it. So it's like a broken record. And we know gaps will get filled 80% of the time. Watch for CPI numbers. In my opinion, doing nothing, at least in the first hour of tomorrow, is the best idea. As traders, the toughest thing is not to trade, it's just sit on hands. So practice not trading, only looking at the price action. Netflix breaking below major trend lines, major uptrend. Now 281 needs to hold, otherwise this small gap at the 250 is calling for the price. As you can see, we have a small gap over here. This one here. Technical issues. We have this small gap over here. Zoom in. You can see this gap is not filled. It's a small one, but it's a gap. Very tough resistance. Gap. Try to close. Bounce. Still open. Watch this 280 breaking below. 263 and then 250 to close the gap. Nvidia. As you can see, this gap over here is pulling price slowly but safely. Pulling price towards it. If the CPI numbers tomorrow will not be good, this gap for sure will get filled, maybe with another gap to the upside. Microsoft 245 area is holding. Very strong resistance. Now holding. Double bottom scenario. We have this gap over here that needs to get filled. Let's see what tomorrow will bring us. Amazon, downtrend until proven otherwise. This trend line from resistance, support, 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 but it's in a downtrend. So until proven otherwise, Amazon is going down. Maybe after tomorrow, we will see a bounce. Meta hovering just above this void, this gap at the 153. As you can see, the gap is trying to pull price back inside. Bulls are fighting, but bulls, unfortunately, they also have this area, super strong resistance area. As you can see, it was support over here, resistance over here. Now Bulls are trying to break free from this void, but this void is very strong. And it all depends on tomorrow. Once again, CPI numbers, 8:30 Eastern Time. Watch out. Manage your risk. Risk management is the only thing that we have full control of. Nothing more, nothing less. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Don't forget Fibonacci-Traders program, 6 hours, 49 lessons, the only program with lifetime access for support, guidance, all Discord channels, and it will transform you to become your own indicator. By the end of this program, you will stop following others. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe.